Fine. Shaw steps in and says, no chance, he's doing it. In that instance, he gets himself killed. So it's Emma's fault that Shaw is still there, but it's his fault that he dies in that instance, I would say.
I love your idea, though, where the sharks swim at him. And I know that they could learn from these explodey tips, but he looks at it, like, you could say, back off, y'all. They would get it. They wouldn't attack him. So, I guess, you know what, though? I've never been in a...
playing chicken? Maybe.
Yeah.
They were playing chicken. Like, are you really going to sacrifice yourself if we do this?
But the way the sharks are coming at him, it's the jet ski scene in Waterworld, which Mark and I have talked about before, I know. When there's a Costner, it's a glorious scene. There's like at least 2, maybe 3 jet skis, all heading for somebody in the middle of the water. Costner's up in the air. He hands somebody a rope, not a bungee cord, a rope, and says, tie this on to something. The other end is tied around to him. He then jumps off the airship, comes down, picks somebody up, goes back in. It's magically turned to a bungee rope, and they tied on something. Everything's fine. But those 3 jet skis are all converging to the same point. So he has gone down and saved that person. Whether he did that or not, all those jet skis are going to explode. It's just going to happen. So these 2 sharks are swimming for a head-on collision, whether shore explodes them or not. So something bad is going to happen to these sharks. Either way, they're going to get at least a bruised snout. They'll get
some concussed sharks.
Yeah. But I love...
So make it very difficult for them to continue with their evil, maniacal, villainous plan.
Indeed it would. But I love how the bug-eyedness of Shaw. He goes really intense. His eyes go bulging like Ian Holm in Fellowship of the Ring. Just plunges them in, big explosion. So I just love that angry stare he has before. Like he knows this is it. He's really psyching himself up for that explosion.
It was a good final moment. I usually can feel when something is the final moment, and I was kind of like, man, he's going so full hero here. I don't know that he's going to die, and then he definitely died.
He is immediately liquid.
There's nothing left.
No,
they are pure.
He's everywhere now.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch the scene in slow motion, it's just physical shock, liquid. It's just. There is nothing solid left, and it's reminiscent of the end of Deep Sea when the big explosion there. So I like the homages in this chapter.
Oh yeah, just liquid, immediate liquid.
Immediately.
But I'm telling you, he could have pointed those things at the sharks and back off.
Right, but the sharks would have just swum away. I think they would have realised, oh wait, hang on, this is a trap. Our mum's not really here. We need to ignore that tracker and just head off into the wide open sea, copulate with anyone we find, get a little bit of the rubby-dubby, and then see him again all over the place. So he makes a reckless.
Bull sharks, though. Bull sharks are by far the most aggressive sharks in existence, and they would fight just for the sake of fighting. I'm not sure exactly how intelligent these are. Which one would outweigh the others, but it definitely feels like the pissed off shark.
Well, these are
won out at this point.
These are in Deep Sea 2. They modify a shark to be 1,000 times more intelligent than it previously was, in an attempt to. I forgot we didn't have you on for Deep Sea 2. The plot of Deep Sea 2 is Terminator-esque in that the main guy, Michael Beach's character, is concerned that robots are going to rise up. And so he's...
Michael Beach is in it?
Yes, he's the best part. His plan is to make humans more intelligent so they can take on the robots that will get more intelligent. So that humans have a chance in that fight. That's the plot of Deep Sea 2. It's glorious. So these sharks have been made 1,000 times more intelligent, and then these are the offspring of that 1,000 times more intelligent shark that, due to climate change, have become more aggressive towards everything. So they are super intelligent, but also super angry and super loyal to their dead mum's brain tracker.
Here's the thing,
I was wondering about why they were so excited about Mama's brain tracker. I was kind of lost on that, but I thought, well, then Mama must be out there. But they killed her off scene in the beginning, and we only just saw the net, so very sad.
Yeah.
How funny would that be, though, if he didn't die and the shark swam away, and then Dr. Emma Collins is mad at him. Like,
you should have killed yourself!
Yeah.
Wait, my dad would have killed himself! You should have
My dad wouldn't have killed himself.
A little backstory, Heather. Emma's dad was in the military with Shaw. That's how they know each other. So Shaw served underneath. Emma's dad was Shaw's commanding officer. So that's the connection.
That's funny. So at a bar, like, are you the guy who like didn't sacrifice himself and now we're living in Seamageddon?
You're the reason for this aquatic apocalypse?
Yeah. My cousin Rick was at the Jersey Story. Like, one of the Seamageddon sharks got him. Thanks a lot, Shaw.
Eugene.
I like how all these prepositions get set up in bars, and that's how we would equate how they would be discussed in pop culture, which is good because that's a situation, especially where alcohol is involved, that things can go down.
Yeah.
Quite the way. He'd have no drinks either. I think he'd be cut off.
No drinks for you.
However, no drinks for you. However, I think in the afterlife bar, wherever it may be that he goes to, he's going to have a lot of free drinks.
Yeah, he is.
He's going to have all of them.
What does Shaw drink? Shaw's in hero heaven, and Shaw can house whatever booze he wants.
Some bourbon.
Yeah, some bourbon?
Yeah.
Well, he took.
Go down nice and smooth.
They had the shots back in chapter 2, and he took one of those, but we don't really know what that drink was.
Well, they're on Dead Island, so I'm going to go with tequila.
So Shaw is just housing. Wait, what about this? Bourbon barrel aged like mezcal or finished tequila or mezcal.
I think that's a good way to spend your time in the afterlife after you've blown up 2 sharks at the same time.
And then he goes to like boxing practice, and it's just sharks hung by their tails, and he just punches them.
In a fridge.
I want to know what it sounds like.
Have you watched You Don't Mess with the Zohan?
Yes.
Not for a long time.
Remember that scene where John Turturro's training to fight Sandler, and he's punching a cow, and the cow starts mooing, and he goes... There's also a great jet ski scene in that. John Turturro is so funny in that movie.
Oh, God, he's great. Oh, I forgot entirely about that.
Why is the cow hanging upside down? And why is he punching it?
That's a poor cow. Who do you feel more sorry for, the cow in that or the cow in Freddy Got Fingered?
Anything in Freddy Got Fingered.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think about Rip Torn and Julie Haggerty. Just...
Or the cow in Me, Myself, and
Top
Irene?
Secret? Oh.
What about the cow in Twister?
Oh, yeah.
In a tornado.
Yeah, that cow does not survive.
Cow! Got another one.
What's the cow in Say It Isn't So, where Chris Klein like punches it right in the butt?
There's a lot of cows in like
Kingpin.
late 1930s.
Doesn't he cut off a cow's feet?
Oh, that's unpleasant. Say It Isn't So. When was the last time somebody talked about Say It Isn't So?
I was thinking the same thing. But
like ever. Even Chris Klein.
Where I've seen it.
Listen, I remember cow gags.
Clearly.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to do a show about cows in film, you're their man.
Cows in film.
Say It Isn't So. It's such a weird film.
Is it the brother and sister?
It's just the whole film is like Chris Klein thinks Heather Graham's his sister.
Yeah.
And but they're not. But people think that they are. And they're in. It's such a weird. Have that film pitched to you. Like there's this guy who starts a relationship.
More about putting them in something that the two of them looked good in, where they could hook up because they were both so big at the time.
Yeah.
They had a lot of heat.
They did.
Lots of heat. They could totally get some rubby tubby.
I want to watch Outside Providence again. I remember liking that movie.
That's a great movie. Oh, I loved that. I haven't watched that in forever.
How'd your brother get injured? Well, we had a freak accident. We were playing touch football, and he fell off the roof.
We have past references, I understand. So good.
Okay.
That's a good joke. That's a gag right there.
Is. I think you'd like it, Jay. There's a lot of dry, just odd, bizarre humor in it.
Alec Baldwin.
So good.
It's a film I've never even heard of this film.
Sean Hoddesy, Amy Smart.
I think it came out in like 99 or 2000.
Richard Jenkins.
As a gift, he gets her the thing from the dentist's office that hangs the apron, like the metal thing that holds the apron. He gets her that as a necklace.
George Wendt. Norm's in this film.
Yes.
I know, I'm telling you.
Jonathan Brandis.
I'm telling you. It's a fun, that bit though about falling off the roof. That's classic. I don't know any cow gags though.
Watch that one though, Jay. That one's worth your time.
Oh,
Amy Smart is in Rat Race, and I think there's some cow gags in that movie.
Yeah, a cow hoof gets caught in the hot air balloon and gets like dragged along, and then gets dumped on the car that the assistant and the hooker Tracy are driving. I've seen Rat Race was the first film I owned on DVD. In all of history, I've seen it many times. That film was just seared into my memory, and I don't mind. It's a good time.
Rat Race is a good time.
Squirrel?
You should have bought a squirrel. Yeah.
I love when they're like, what chocolate are you eating? And they were seeing who barfed first and who could hang the longest from the drapes. Like, that's just silly. And then Smash Mouth performs.
Oh, wait. That's just the cast.
It's amazing that they did songs for movies that weren't, Shrek.
Wayne Knight, Rowan Atkinson, John Lovitz, Whoopi Goldberg. It's such a deep
and cows
eclectic cast in that.
Oh, I just thought of another cow moment. It's the one being birthed in City Slickers.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's a cow. That's a calf.
A cute little baby cow. You got to be friends with that cow.
Son-in-law. Son-in-law's got good cow moments.
Oh, Son-in-law does. Son-in-law's a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
But buff the wood. Buff the wood.
Crawl. Hey, crotch. Hey, crap.
Why do they call you Crawl? Because that's how I got home every day. Thank you, Pauly Shore, for so many beautiful things.
See, people might be listening to this thinking, are they recording like really late at night? This is the earliest we've ever recorded a show.
I told you, bad things happen. Well, no, great things happen when Heather and I get together.
Like early afternoon for you two, mid-afternoon for me. It's just, normally it's like the dead of night, but here we are. So we have a little weapons check scene, not quite a tooling up montage, but what kind of tools do we have? I always enjoy those kind of scenes. I always think of not the World's End. This is the end. This is what we have left, a Milky Way. And so but then they have the little hands in, but with weapons, like for when Nanny says for Bahari, and she puts in her spear, and then Emma says for Mia and Spin, and she puts in the little tracker device, which just looks really awkward. That's she's having to reach up as high as she can to get the tip.
She does the boop too.
She does, and then but she says for Mia and Spin, and then she was like, "Well, you didn't leave me anyone." So for all of us, I guess.
For Earls!
Yeah. For the guy I just threw into the sea.
Yes. Who I'm certain already is the greatest killer that's ever happened in a movie.
I mean, it's up there.
So how deep and blue is this thing?
Oh, how deep and blue is this thing? So this is... I thought this was going to be the bluest chapter we've ever seen, because so much of this is either underwater or out in the open, blue sky, blue ocean, blue everywhere. But it's about 45% blue, which is still pretty blue. It's blue. It's like the fourth bluest chapter in this film so far, but it's only the 9th chapter, so that's like halfway. It's one above halfway. So it's disappointingly not as blue as I wanted, but still pretty blue. That's bluer than most of the chapters in the previous two films. And depth-wise, mostly on the surface, some bit above surface, some bit below. On average, it's about 0.2 meters above sea level, which about 0.7 feet. So not very above water, but not very deep either. So this is quite blue, not very deep. It's kind of sitting in the middle of the graph so far. Only 2 chapters left in depth or blueness, and one of them is mainly credits, but a lot of underwater stuff, so that could end up being the deepest chapter. We don't know. Yeah.
Well, most shark attacks happen in shallow water.
True, but I feel like that's because that's where most people are.
Yeah, yes, that's usually how it works.
No, not to knock your point, but it's like most accidents happen at home. Yes, that's where we live. I'm sorry.
Fair point.
Do you have any other notes for this chapter, Heather?
Oh no, it was was just fantastic. I just loved how bloody and gory it was, and I can't wait to watch the whole thing now. And also, I kind of want to return